Oh, okay.
I know this looks kind of funny. It's like I'm wondering if we should go outside.
She's wearing her checkered flag.
Well, this isn't a checkered flag.
Well, that's your racing green.
Well, yeah, because it's got green on it.
Yeah,
this is the closest thing.
Remember the green is it's her checkered. It's her polka dotted green.
And this is of course the wrap up from The Race Goes Green. Now here's the funny part is that Oldecam actually knows much more about automotive than I do.
But I'm not a pretty girl in a bikini.
And both of us are familiar with the green events.
Yeah.
And he actually understands this a lot more than I do.
You know, I understand that there are multiple definitions. There is green as the automobile people think of green, and there is green as the greenies think of green, and they're basically do not go together.
Well, part of it is on this is The Race Goes Green. This was April 16th, 2009. And as it says, green, high-performance, innovative solutions from the advanced engineering sector of motorsports. So this happened actually during the same time as the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach.
And we got to cover the one the year before, and they were proud of the fact that Champ Car that they had a lot of cars using green fuel.
And actually, I was really impressed. Like the ALMS, which is American Le Mans Series. Actually, I was so surprised at how supportive they were of alternative fuels.
Yeah, well, because they know that the industry is going to be buried sooner than later. If they don't go green with the people the people that are demanding things go green, they're just going to lose their business.
Yeah.
They're already shutting the. Already they're losing advertisers. They're losing car companies that are committing. You know, with the loss of Ford, General Motors, Toyota. You know, Chrysler.
It's a really, really big deal, especially with all the push towards alternative fuels right now.
So if they go green, they basically have a reason to still participate in the races.
Now this event was brought to people by the Motorsport Industry Association in conjunction with the UK Trade and Investment. And of course SEMA was there, which is coming up this November. Yeah, which is for the automotive aftermarket. Also, we did excerpts from the event, from The Race Goes Green, for some things that we thought would be of particular interest to people from a general audience, not specifically just racing audience.
We try to go to things that are consumer-oriented. People have to understand that all racing is consumer-oriented because the developments for your automobiles come from the racing industry.
That's true, and that's actually one of the things that they were really striving to, because a lot of, everybody knows, it's not a surprise. The automotive industry is having a difficult time right now.
Right.
Everybody knows that. But racing, they kept on enforcing, this is something, what happens in racing will eventually affect what happens in consumers.
Your engine technology, your safety, your tires, they all come from racing. Every bit of racing was originally developed by the people that built cars as a means of testing their vehicles and making a buck while doing it.
That's true. So the day was set up with different topics. One of them was the future of powertrains and motorsports, hybrids, turbos, and beyond. And I'm sitting there looking at, and this was, to me, this was like almost like the who's of automotive racing. It did not have like the head of GM and the head of Ford there, but these are all the people that are involved in racing.
Yeah, they had my guess is the development people were all over the place because they're the ones that are really driving the businesses of development.
Yeah, I'll give you an idea of some of the people that were there. This is, we also do have the people that attended. Let's see, we had Lowe's Fernandez Racing, Panos Motorsports, the head of ALMS, American Le Mans Series, of course Motorsport Industry Association.
Green Speed, American Le Mans Series, Delta, Peterson Automotive, Green.
There's all these racing people.
Everybody that's involved in the business is sitting there. We just look at the
SEMA, Ergodicity.
Yeah.
John. What's that?
Hey, look, we're there.
Of course.
We're there. We were there.
We're on the list.
That means we were on the list of attending.
And I actually was there. I didn't have anybody check me in.
Because we do have the video to show that we were there.
We have people from the Auto Channel, Swift Engineering, Lightning Hybrids, B&M Racing, Road and Track, T3 Motion, Michelin, Toyota Racing Development, Michelin. Physics lab of Lake Havasu.
You realize that ours is the one that's, ours is media. You don't see a whole lot of media, do you?
You don't.
Because it basically, it's not the thing, okay, the problem was the media was over at the racetrack.
Well, some of them were. Some of them were. The Automotive Digest was there, and they conducted interviews with some of the different people.
Yeah, but they're sponsors though, so they don't.
Well, yeah.
They're sponsors, but
But
media,
see, those were different because ours were excerpts of what happened. Theirs were actually interviews in a separate room.
But what you want to do is have. They needed people that were over on the racetrack. Those media people over here, because those are the ones whose voices are more heard.
You know, and part of it is that some of our Motor Press Guild friends had dropped in for a while, but they were also going over to the
Well, there was a time
for
problem
media check-in.
because I was, if we'd have been allowed to participate, but then again, we don't have. But we unfortunately were tied to Champ Car, and Indy's now running the event. So.
I know, kind of a different thing. The mayor of Long Beach was there.
Yeah.
The British, let's see.
The council was there, I think.
Yeah, the British Consul General was there. In fact, when you look over here, Bob Pierce.
Yeah. So they had a lot of power. This is something that needed to be wider coverage than what it was.
It really did. Well, this is like an insider's meeting.
Yeah.
For example, on this one, the Future Powertrains and Motorsports, Hybrids, Turbos, and Beyond. Nick Hayes was there from NHANS. Pete Spence, the Technical Director of Toyota Racing Development. Adrian Moore, the Technical Director of X-Track.
It was a shame because Toyota's pulling out of racing though, which is...
Well, you know, actually they talked to Toyota about racing there and what they thought the future was. Oh, actually, I guess you'll have to see the excerpt. We can't tell you everything.
No, but I mean, it just to me, I look at things and I see things through a different light. I look at things that if the public understood what was going on, it would be an easier sell.
Well, and part of the challenging, like here they're talking about making a good race series that people want to watch.
Yeah.
Because part of it is you want to have it safe,
but you want to make it look like somebody's going to get killed.
I mean, I know that sounds really bad.
No,
that's part of, if you want to call it, the entertainment of it.
No, I mean, I knew a lot of the people that that were racers at Indy in the 40s and 50s, and I do remember some of them said they would make arrangements with other drivers and they would bump other drivers to make it look exciting. They know it was all like a wrestling match to begin with. They would, okay, when I get to a round, you're not supposed to hear this, folks. You're not actually hearing it. He would say, well, okay, when I get to turn 4, you go up and I'm going to cut underneath it and you look like you're going to cut me off.
Oh, really? They do that?
Well, because it was all about, they wanted to make it look like it was more dangerous. These guys are pros. I mean,
they are pros.
They can come
There's
up.
No question about it.
They can come up to you within a hair's length of your automobile and push you with it. But it makes it look like, oh my God, he's going to crash into that car. And basically, no. But these are good. These are pros. It's all about, you got to get the people through the gates.
Well, and that's part of it. For example, they're talking about if you're making the race greener, do you make it equal based on fuel consumption or emissions-related race?
Ah, there's a third one.
What's that?
Construction of the vehicle.
Oh,
they forgot that.
You know what? They didn't talk about that.
They forgot that is it a green vehicle?
Actually, what they did talk about is how do you know the car is green? Because it's not like when you put the what do you put in the tires?
The air or the nitrogen?
The nitrogen you put in the tires, and they have a different color that you put it on it. For example, if you see a green race car, you can't tell that it's green.
No,
it just looks like another race car.
Now, unless they say,
unless they tell you.
I mean, we've got, the year before last when we were doing Champ Car stuff, when you go walk through the pits would say, green fuel, green this, green that, but unless the audience doesn't see those things though, because it's on our side, the photographer's side, which is the side looking out.
Which is what they hear. Well, for example, like ALMS, which is the American Le Mans Series, they talked about using alternative fuels as part of the entertainment. And they use actually 3 different types of fuels, E10, E85, and clean diesel.
E85 is being used commercially by automobiles in Las Vegas, for instance. Remember all of those stations that we drive by that we're afraid to go to because it's got, E85 all over the place?
I remember, what do we use that for?